felt like heaven. They found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better from the pain.
Hello, hello, hello. And let's see, mic check working. I see that working okay. And on the line, we have Scampa123. He, real name Sal. And he's done work with me on getting the VR PinUP Popper, the VR browser for PinUP working. So, Sal, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the mixer shows that your voice is working.
Fantastic.
We don't have any, I don't think, how many people do we have on? Oh, there's Dondi. How you doing, Dondi? Hey, Nesta,
Hey,
how are you?
Dante.
You guys hearing Sal, Scampa okay?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let's see if they're hearing you. Yes, hear the Goomba.
What's up, bud?
Terry, foosball. Yes, foosball, Sopranos. Hey, we have the Sopranos here for Sal.
Thank you. They have a new series or a movie. Sorry, they have a new movie coming out for that. You see that? The prequel?
Really? No, I didn't. I guess. I guess they're gonna have to find a new character for the main guy. What's his name? Gandhi.
Well, it's his son. It's his son in real life
Does it
playing him as a young man.
Does he look like him? What's his name? John Gandolfini?
Gandolfini. Yeah. Yeah, he does look like him a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Gandolfini, yes. That's cool. Is it like coming out next year type of thing?
No, they've been advertising it. I think it's just a movie. I don't think it's a series.
Oh,
And maybe it's HBO Max.
that's cool. That's cool. So Terry, yeah, Terry's finally joining us. I don't think he followed me in my pilot series on Friday night. Just trying to get all this OBS stuff moving along. So I guess let's Sal, you want to talk about what you've done with the VR PinUP Popper and what you got there?
Sure. Yeah. So, well, you reached out to me. You reached out to the community early on, asking, who'd be interested to get involved. And I was playing around with VR stuff, so I was interested for sure. And we began just testing. First and foremost, just loading it up and seeing, where we land in the VR space. You had a default room, and I don't know, we did what, 70 some revs of this, of trying
Yeah, I
different
think
things.
build 71. You got every increment. I remember sending you zips by the hour.
Yeah, I'd be jumping back into VR between work calls and stuff, just trying different things. And then after a while, it got to the point where, I was never a big 3D builder guy. So, but I got to the point where I was like, man, I really want to make a room. And then I started learning bits and pieces of Blender to build up a room, and then putting pieces together. And you asked me to do some videos, so I started doing some tutorial videos, especially for the content creators. I think that was the big thing that we were targeting at first. Hopefully, folks will be able to make some rooms and share them with the community as GLB files. And
Yeah,
and
I
that was a
mean,
lot
I
of
think,
fun.
I think when I was designing it, I think it was important that we had the full easy third party customization. I didn't want to make a fixed room or a fixed style or a fixed view or that kind of stuff, right? So I think that's where focused on just using GL. I guess the file format was important. Like that's why we went with GLB and Blender, so that I mean the best part of it is that you can easily create your games room. I suppose is one option, or even some really cool things. You've done a few cool ones with the arcades.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, folks should, if they're interested, they should take the GLB that comes with Popper VR and open it up in Blender and just play around with added stuff. That's what I did, right? I would start putting pieces in there. Uh, we even put Terry's Darth Vader dancing in there at
Yeah,
one
yeah,
point, just
I remember.
having fun with stuff, and figuring it out.
That's cool. Yeah. So for those that don't know, what Popper VR is I guess uses your existing Popper stuff. So the cool thing about that is, you don't have to really learn new ways of adding tables, media, all that stuff. So it's all using your existing Popper, um, and then when you run your Popper VR, it's almost like a browser. So it uses the Popper VR, uses your multi screens, your playfield screens, your desktop, your back glass, the DMDs. So it can mirror all your displays. It can play media. It can play custom dancing Darth Vaders, uh, and yeah, you can obviously it launches within the VR, and it'll launch up your VPX VR. It can do your future pinball if we ever figure out how to get that working on most sites. And what else? And also Zakaria. I don't know if you did. You ever get Zakaria working with the VR launching?
Yeah, so we can launch Zakaria. There is a problem, and it's on the Zakaria side, that if you have Steam VR running and you launch, which Steam VR is running, right? Because Popper VR has Steam VR running, so you can see the room. But if you launch the game, then a menu pops up in VR that says, "Hey, do you realize you're launching this? There's a VR version." Now, if Steam VR is not running and you launch the same exact way, it'll launch straight into the table. So it's just a little quirk. In fact, it's something I was going to talk to you about maybe we kill Steam VR at that instant and then let it relaunch with Sicaria. It's just something to work through, but
Yeah, like I said, it's still beta, so we'll tweak it. But I know with VPX and Future Pinball, it works pretty much out of the box type of stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Dondi's
Absolutely.
asking, what's a GLB? Yeah, it's a file format for 3D assets. It's pretty open source. Um, I don't know if it is open source, but it's I don't think there's royalty for it, so it's very open, and it lets you open it up in Blender and other types of 3D apps, and you save it. The only thing that GLB importer can't do yet is lights. That's the other than that, you can pretty much modify in Blender, make your whole room Santa Claus, be in North Pole, make a. I mean, you've seen what VR rooms do in virtual pinball, so you can definitely do, use Blender, make those GLBs, and then that's a GLB file. It's one file. It ends up being the room with the cab and everything. So if you make 10 rooms, you can switch between rooms. Like me and Sal have talked about all sorts of different ideas. Having a Williams room or having an 80s retro room, and you have all the VPX tables. And yes, one of the big features of Pop VR is the MAME. You can run MAME right on cabinets, right in your virtual room. So that's cool. And so yeah, I could just imagine if people do end up making. I mean, it could be unlimited. It's unlimited rooms. They're just one file each. So when you yeah, Gerard said that's what we're hoping to make. And once you see the videos that Sal did, the training videos, like you could make posters, or you can make like a foyer room, all right, and you can have like arrows pointing to Williams, an arrow pointing to Bally or whatever, some 1990s, 80s, 60s, 40s, and then you just you click on it and you can make active items jump to rooms, all right, so you could pretty much get as creative as you'd like.
Yeah, yeah. If you're daring enough, you want to watch the videos for the content creators. Actually, you don't have to be daring enough. They're really simple to watch, but if you check those out, I tried to play with different things. What I think is really cool with it is any object can can be a trigger in Popper VR that can trigger you to either launch a table or launch into another room. There's so many different things you could do. So some of the stuff I did in these videos where like I had a radio. I took a model of a radio and I put it on a table, and when you clicked on it, it started playing music in the room. You click on it again, it turned off. I put a fish tank in the room. I put a movie screen on the wall so that you could watch a movie if you click on a poster.
And
Lots of neat stuff.
your level of 3D was like super beginner. You were just learning Blender,
Yeah,
right? Like I mean, we were doing. I
yeah,
was learning Blender at the time. I go, this is neat stuff. We were learning, watching YouTube videos on how to change textures and resizing textures. Like that was it was. I mean, considering you were able to do all that with minimal experience, that's awesome. You did a great job with
yeah. I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
look, I'm still learning, and I've been working with guys like Rod lately and stuff who are I consider very proficient in these tools. And yeah, I still did some I think amazing stuff with Popper VR,
Yeah.
because
Dondi
it makes it
says
very
that
simple.
Dondi brought up the 3D arcade. Yeah, that was 3D arcade in its full glory. I think they're making a VR version of 3D arcade as well. And actually, we used one of their sample one of their sample arcades. What was that thing called again? That arcade room. But anyway, yeah, Future Time. Future. No, what was it called? What was it called again? The one with all the MAME
I
cabs.
I don't remember. I mean, you just gave it to me one day,
Yeah, it's in there.
and
It's one of
we
their
started
demos,
playing
and
with it.
it was based on yeah, it's awesome the way they have every cab and the actual Galaga, Frogger, all in original cab graphics. That was cool.
Yeah, so this. I took that room and I took a case of soda and I sat there for a bit and mapped every one of the arcade games in that room to the MAME ROMs that the,
Oh,
the
you got it
cabinets
all working.
represent.
You got you how many were there? Like 50?
Oh gosh, yeah, it was like 40 some. I think there was only one in there. I can't remember what it is, but it's the one where it's like you're looking in a submarine thing, and I'm like, how the heck am I going to do this? I couldn't figure out how to do that one, but all of them launch and you can play them.
Yeah,
It's
Dondi
kind of neat
remembered it. Yeah, it
walking
was
around.
Timeout Tunnel. That's the one. It was Timeout Arcade or time. It was Timeout something. Maybe Timeout Tunnel. That sounds familiar. I think
Yeah.
that was
So
the one. Yeah, that's cool.
maybe we'll do a video of the arcade room at some point when people get going.
Yeah, so I'm going to, I guess, after this stream, I'll be posting the links to the beta. I think we have about, I guess, 8 people, 5 to 8 people that have pretty much had the files using it at least. And I think if you're going to use it for desktop, you're going to need one of those dummy video drivers. Because a lot with the mirroring and even with obviously when you want to do pup packs or even future pinball stuff, Terry will say having the dummy HDMI plugs or DisplayPort plugs so that you
Yeah.
have an extra screen so you can run the mirroring properly or easier at least. And I mean with stubbies, you're probably going to want a display showing on your stubby, and even having an extra one for B2S or back glass or topper or other type. So that's cool.
Yeah, in fact I did that. I was using the HDMI plug on my desktop when I was doing a lot of these videos and stuff, putting it together.
Cool. All right. So as far as like, I don't know, I guess we can see it. Yeah. So, I mean, the idea behind it is, you have your, do I have, oh, look, I do have. This is my old Quest 1. I haven't charged it in a while. So the idea is if you're going to be using, I know there's AirLink, but for pinball, the USB-C cable is a lot less lag free, but use whatever works for you. You have to get obviously everything working with VPX VR. Let's say for example, everything has to be running before you start even messing around with Popper or Popper VR. And once you have your goggles on, you would go into the operator menu. And of course, I don't have it here, but you would go custom strips, and it would be automatically there. Toggle VR on, off. I think it says what's the exact text? It's something like toggle VR. And then when you does
Yeah.
that, it closes out Popper, it launches Popper VR, and all of it starts playing in your headset. And obviously, you just keep your headset on. You would never have to take your headset off. So when you're in that mode, I know Dondi, he actually mirrors it so that if someone's in the room, they can watch them play on their back glass. But that's outside of the Popper VR. That's how you set up your Oculus or your VR headset. And yeah, and so you play in your headset. You never have to take it off. You have exiting. All the buttons that work on your cab. Ideally, in the Popper VR room, you would actually model your cab. I mean, it would be awesome. Shouldn't be that difficult to scale or model your cab exactly with where the buttons are. Like that'd be really cool. And you would just keep your headset on. You can go in and out of games, and yeah, that's everything would be. I mean, you've probably seen on my YouTube channel the examples, and Sal has a demo room showing that, and yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's very cool. Not to take away from the work of the VR launcher. I mean, that I know there's a lot of work working on the Fiends. How's it going? Fiends just joined. Opeki, or I don't know, what's your name today? So where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, the VR launcher. That's still, I know there's work being done on the VR launcher. I think he's still focusing on just launching VPX, I think. I don't know if he does other emulators yet. But always good to have options. And then both of them are free, so it's all good. Today my name is Bob. Hello, Bob. This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl. Hey, we got it. Okay, you know what? Actually, I think I was waiting for 10 viewers. Because now that we have 10 viewers, I want to try. I was working on my stream, and I made a game. Ooh. Now this game is an easy game. And I guess just showing, yeah, Bob Newhart. There you know Dondi. I was waiting for someone to say, hey, Bob Newhart. All right, so this is an easy game. 10 people in here. We're all into pinball. We should be able to do this. It's a very fast game. And I can run it. I can run it 100 times, but let's just run it once here. So step one is I hide the cab. Yes, cab is not moving. That's all good. So as you notice, I am moving around on my cab, but you guys don't see where I'm moving. All right, so now let me go. I'm going to, all right. So this game is called Name That Game. Simple enough, name that game, all right? So here we go. We're going to start the game. It's called Name That Game. Every 10 seconds, 10% of the table will be displayed. First person in the chat that names the table wins the game. Let's see. Oh, and you only get one guess. Once you get your guess, you're out of the game. So one guess per round. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but hopefully it's working. Yep. Addams Family, you're out. It's not the Addams Family. Do 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 do. Name that game. Creature from the Black Lagoon. We have a winner. Who said it first? Gerard, there we go. We have a win. See, you can now say you won the first round ever of Name That Game. There, and we go back to normal. Did you see that? That's a simple game. I actually like that game. What'd you think about the game? It was good? Let's play a little pinball, and you can continue talking about other cool things of Popper VR.
Please wait.
Can you hear me, Sal?
Loading up the game.
I can hear you.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, my video feed's a little choppy, but I can hear you well. So let's see, what else can we talk about Popper VR? So we talked about the arcade room. We talked a bit about launching things. There, oh, the lights. You talked about lights before. Yeah, one of the things we have to do. Look, you know what? I should back up. One of the things we talk about loading up models in Blender, these GLB files, but really, when you look on the wiki and you look at what needs to happen in there, it's all naming conventions inside of the 3D model. That's why it was so easy for me. So if I put a poster on the wall, all I had to do was put a naming convention in for that poster that then basically told Popper VR what to launch when I clicked on it, what to do when I clicked on it. And I think that's really cool. That's what made it so easy for me to grab onto it. So
That's cool. I'm playing it. I'm doing 10 things I'm watching my stream. I'm watching the game.
by the way, I love what Joey did for your little PinUP daddy, I guess.
Oh,
that is.
Pup Daddy, my Pup Daddy, aka
Pup Daddy.
Puff Daddy. You know how that works. He's done. I think he's done like 10 or 15 or 20 of them or something. He's becoming he's becoming the VP guru with what are they called? Caricatures? Caricatures. Too many syllables in that word.
Yeah, he's amazing. John, aka Hawkeye's introduced me to him, and he's amazing. You give him an idea, and he just
how long have you
starts
been how long have you been doing VPin?
Gosh, at this point, I want to say probably about a year and a half. I mean, I had looked at it before, but I didn't really get serious until I realized, hey, I can do stuff where I can feel the pinball, right? That it's not just a ball moving around a screen. That's when I got very excited about it and got going. And then I started like everybody else, right? I asked a million questions.
Really? We don't get that in the community much. People hardly ask questions. I never get that. Sarcasm at its best.
Block the ball.
Did I lose you? You there? Oh no, did I lose him?
Just checking.
Everything all right?
Yeah, exactly, Gerard. What happened? What happened to...
I don't.
Oh, there you are. I hear you now. You're back.
I'm back. I don't know.
We're experiencing technical difficulties here. Last thing I heard, you said something about you're gonna give free swag to everyone in the channel. I didn't get that part.
Great. No, you know what? I was talking about. I mentioned the fact that I started out by just, I was trying to do stuff. It wasn't working. I'd ask a million questions. Thank people. Like, ask yourself, ask Terry. I remember going through the future pinball stuff. If you can't get Terry's attention, it's...
Wait, hold on. I don't know. I got to know. Did you piss off Terry? Sorry, not piss off Terry, but did you ask a future pinball question that is fully documented in the 600-page documents that he made?
Oh, come on. I'm absolutely
It was
sure
page
I did,
472, subpart 2, part J. You did not set the registry entry to 4. It's supposed to be 3.
But he was always very
I
patient
kid,
with
Terry.
me. So I was lucky. And look, I try to pay it forward, right? I try to answer other people's
Please
questions
wait.
as much as
I
I
am
can.
now
and
loading up the game.
I'm even on
Have
the
fun.
VPC chat, right, as an admin with Dondi, trying to help people.
Terry is his former job was writing the tax code. You know what I mean? Those 10,000 page things. It's simple. You can't blame Terry. You got to remember, it's the software in the VP land that is just the most, the hardest thing. I mean, what can you do? It's not commercial software, right? So, and a lot of developers will write it for their scenario, and then other scenarios and this software. I mean, B2S was not designed to do what Terry does to it. You know. The
I
Giga
mean,
guy,
look,
yes.
the baller installer though is amazing, right, for all of this. And I've set it up on other laptops now and stuff, and it's like that, and everything just works, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
when I did the baller installer, I was like, wow, yeah, because I had it installed in a long time, 3 years, just to realize all the different scenarios, configurations, registries, D draws, setting, the DMD to position 1-1 so you don't see the grill, like all these things that I'm like, wow,
Right.
this is like, there is absolutely, I feel for the new people, right? I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, there's a difference between, there's a difference between trying and not trying, I guess. I mean, we've seen it enough to know that there's people that try to, watch videos and get stuff done.
40 minutes until area
But at the end of the day,
It's funny you brought up that whole hide the grill thing. Actually, I don't know if Domde even remembers this, but at one point I must have blown away like my XML for my B2S, and I'm like, oh man, I got to go through now. I have all these tables, and I got to reset that grill setting, and I didn't remember about the you set the 0 to 1 in that one file.
I still don't even know
And
why.
Donnie's
I just know I just saw enough posts that that's what you do.
Yeah, well, he slapped me down. He was like, "Didn't you watch Terry's video? Terry's video has it. It's at this marker at this point," and I was dying. And he was right. It was there. I mean, I somehow overlooked it in that, but
Somehow
Terry had
overlooked.
it
You know
in the
what?
guide.
That should be like every VPN newbie installers. I somehow overlooked that. Because I know with I don't want to go on a rant, but I'll go on a rant. But like, YouTube tells you how many times, like it tells you, audience part, like, only 30% of people ended up watching the last 5 minutes of your training video, right? That last part where I
Right.
say, hey, if you have a problem with your screens, you just do this or just run this. And then you just see, when you go onto YouTube and, you go onto like Facebook or forums, they're asking all the stuff and they're like, I spent hours trying to figure it out. And it's like, you just had to watch the last 5 minutes of the install video. That's all you had to do.
2000.
Right.
People make it
It
harder
was
than it
the
needs
other
to be.
3
I just feel
hours
bad.
getting
Like,
there.
yeah, like I feel bad because it's like I see that some people are trying and they're reading and they just needed to watch the whole video to get. It is what it is. I mean, I know when I was doing my racing sim. Now, when you do race sim software, forget about VPX being hard. I remember spending like 6 hours reading forums trying to get one game working because replacing textures because of AMD cards and just insane. I even trying to get the internet working with Mario Kart on the race cab, trying to get the Logitech wheel working, and I'm going, I know exactly how new people feel with VPins because it can get that difficult.
You gotta get one of these new sending light guns, and you can go back through the process of trying to learn how to set everything up again. That's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
Look,
and
I
then
will say-
upkeeping it after it all.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that, look, for Popper VR, you already said it, one of the requirements is everything is running from a Popper perspective and from a VPX and a VPXGL perspective. But the best way I've found is just to run Baller installer beforehand, and then you've got all of that set up correctly.
Yeah, it's a good.
And
Yeah,
then,
it definitely is a good
then you lay
starting
it in.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I will say not everything in VPN land is all user fault. I mean, there are some things that some developers could help. I'll just say DMD device.ini shouldn't have PinUP equals false by default.
Right.
But it's enabled with Baller until they go and update Freezy, and then DMD device.ini gets overwritten with PinUp equals false.
Yes, and that's hit me.
Hey, that's hit many people.
That.
Yes, Lynn. Lynn mentioned screen rotation. I mean, screen rotation, I'm sure if it was easier, it'd be... I'm sure I'll give them the benefit of the doubt of that kind of stuff. But, as far as helping the supporting aspects. It seems to be a little more difficult than it needs to at some points. But hey, a lot of people, at least we're getting updates. Future Pinball, we're getting updates. Whether or not it makes things break, I'd rather have new things broken than Back to the Future pinballs. But mind you, BAM has helped. BAM is a godsend. I don't think if there was no BAM, I don't know how Future Pinball would be doing.
2000 system shutdown in progress.
Screen rotation is all VPX's fault.
Vault alarm 1 has
Personally, I don't mind things in landscape because when you, I know people say like I wish my cab was portrait so I could work on it easier, but I don't. I use remote software, right? VNC, or you can use TeamViewer, whatever people use, and it would be harder if my cab was portrait. And if you had to go, when you're on your PC on your desk there to work on your cab that was in portrait. Or just an easy way to support everything, I guess. Terry says, no BAM, no FP for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be the case.
And no Terry for Future Pinball means no Future Pinball.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think we all know that if there was no Terry, there'd be no Future Pinball.
Right.
His guides, his thing. I mean, if it wasn't for Terry, I wouldn't have even bothered getting PUP SSF working in Future Pinball, or even getting PUP working in Future Pinball. That was good old Rav Arcade. He enabled COM support, which was cool. All right. You guys want to try? I'm not going to make all this work I did for Name That Game go to waste. So we're going to try another Name That Game. Step 1, hide everything. So for you that are new, Name That Game is what it is. You get one guess. The table will be exposed 10% every 10 seconds. And you guess the game. Here we go. I'm going to start the game now. One guess. One guess only. Per person. Let's see if it starts. Is it working? It's working. Do 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 do. I'm doing the Jeopardy. Oh this video is my aspect ratio. Terry's not gonna like this because of the aspect ratio. Oh, we have Hurricane, and that would be wrong. Oh, we have Cyclone, the winner. Is Terry the first that said Cyclone? Stop the game. I thought for a second there you got me confused. Cyclone and Hurricane really looked familiar in my brain. But so Terry won that one. I guess Hurricane is similar in fashion. I don't know. I'm not going to play this one because it looks like my aspect ratio is all off. And Terry has a thing about aspect ratio. Fit to screen and scaling is Terry's pet peeve. Let's try playing something. I haven't played Elvira in a long time, sure. Fiend says, of course, he does. My wife does that too. Whenever I play a game with my wife, goes, "Oh, I was gonna say that. Oh, that's what I meant." It's like I Spy with My Little Eye, and it's like, oh, I said that. I meant to say that. I just didn't want to say that yet. My wife's. Not that I play I Spy with My Little Eye much with my wife. That sounded weird. Bad example, I guess. But yeah, we drive to I said in my other stream, we have some properties in Florida. So we go to Florida, it's like a 22-hour drive. So we drive over 2 days. So in the car and with kids that were 5 to 15, 5 years old, yeah, you start playing a lot of I Spies and What Am I's, and it's a long, long drive. Doesn't this have a pup pack, or am I choosing a different one? Well, let's play this. So you were saying, what do you have yourself? You have a cab? What type of cab do you have, Sal?
I have a cabinet with. When you say type, what do you mean? I have.
Well, you have like a
4K.
full DMD, 4K. What do you got?
I do. I have the full DMD, the LCD DMD, and topper, and the 4K playfield and back glass. I love it. I love it. I have all the toys set up.
You have a Pinscape?
I have a Pinscape. In fact, I use KLZs in mine. That's a whole other story, not for tonight. But yeah, I have 2 KLZs running, and I don't even use a Pinscape all-in-one and stuff. I'll have to hear about it later from Dondi. But it all works, so it's all good.
And for VR, what are you using?
I have an Oculus 1 and 2, so I use them both, just depending what's, if I'm upstairs or downstairs. And it works, and I've done it wired. I use it.
You use the AirLink or the virtual desktop? I know.
I still use virtual desktop. I tried AirLink when it first came out, and it was laggy for me, so virtual desktop just worked. I don't know what it's like today. I haven't gone back to try it again.
I think I tried. I don't have a Wi-Fi 6. Like, I have expensive routers, but I think when I bought them, there just wasn't Wi-Fi 6, right? Are you using Wi-Fi 6 on the Oculus with the virtual desktop, or are you just using normal 5 gigahertz?
Yeah, it's 5. It's just normal 5.
Just normal 5? Yeah, because I tried it, and it was like, I couldn't deal with the lag. And I tried all kinds of settings. I sat next to the router. I sat 4 feet away from the router. And it's a higher-end router. It just wasn't smooth.
I use Google Mesh in my house, and I don't know if that's what makes the difference or what. And I have a super fast, well, I guess my internet connection wouldn't matter.
The internet,
but
it wouldn't
I do have
matter,
super fast. But I think it's the Google Mesh maybe that works. I really like being wireless, and just not being tethered.
The other problem I have too is I always forget to charge. So when I want to play, I'm going to need to be plugged in anyways for the battery. I don't want to play at 5%. So I'm always it's just one of those things. I procrastinate and never end up.
Yeah, I keep one down by my cabinet, and I have it just plugged in all the time so that it's charged when I go to use it. But yeah, in my office when I'm working on these videos and all that stuff, it's every once in a while I go to grab it to check something or try something, and yeah, it's not charged, it's not ready. So.
Please wait. I am now loading up the game.
Gilligan's Island. This has a pup pack, doesn't it? I don't know if I installed
it. Gilligan's Island does not have a pup pack.
No.
Not yet. It's something that actually I've been working on. I just haven't finished.
That's why I just remember it sounds familiar about Gilligan's Island pup pack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't touched my cab. So the streaming was a good way of me actually using my cab, because in my family, no one touches even when we had a real pinball, no one's into pinball. I don't know if they just worry that they're going to break it, or I don't know what it is, but they don't play, I think my son played about 10 minutes of my virtual pinball, and he said, okay, that's nice. But on my MAME, if I set up, Mario Soccer, the Wii version, what is it called, Strikers? I like Strikers. And he'll play that, but as far as pinball, they don't get it. They don't care to get it. I don't know. So anyways, I thought, you know what? I'm going to get people to play with it. The only way I'm going to be doing that is through Twitch or streaming. So it's the only way I'm going to get playing pinball with people.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up with all the releases and stuff. I don't know, how much of that you've done. And as far as playing it, I'm with you. When I have family over, like if it's a birthday or something, I turn all the machines on, and then people will get in there and play. My brother-in-law loves it, so he's constantly playing it.
So you have family members that like it. That's good. At least you have someone.
Yeah. But my daughters, they have no interest in it. My son is in college, so he's not even around to play around with it. But when he's there, if he has friends over and stuff, they'll definitely play it.
Yeah, my friends. Well, back in the day when we used to have lots of people over, before COVID, they'd play it for once, and you're like, look at this, it's Stranger Things, it's amazing. They're like, oh, that's good. And then after like 2 balls, they'll walk away. I go, you didn't even play a full game? Like, at least there's 3 balls. After 2 and you walk away, it's like, oh. Maybe it's intimidating, because I mean, when I had the real one, I had a Whirlwind. I guess it was just easier and people just played it, or it's more, I guess people are into real pins a bit more.
Well, it's funny. I think of that like, do you have one of those multi-remotes for your TV? Like my wife is like, just keep it simple. Why do you have one of these multi-remotes? That's what the pinball cabinet is versus a real one. Like I have a Borgard. You turn it on, you add a credit, and you go. You just play. This, wait for it, the food. It's, all this stuff has to happen, and
That's true.
yeah. It's more for me.
And I guess I mean, when you look at the arcade 1-ups or the other ones, they only have certain. I guess when you only have one screen of games, but I think they're gonna, it's intimidating. Is turning it on and just playing with virtual. Let's try another game.
Yeah, but I mean like I have. So I'm fortunate I have a couple video games as well. Like I have a Tron and I have Satan's Hollow, but I've run out of space. My wife is like, you're not getting anything else. You're not building anything else. I have 2 main cabinets I built. I got the pinball machine I built, and then I got a real pinball machine. And it's like, she doesn't want to see any more of it. And that's why I love the main cabinets. That's why I love the pinball machine they made, because in the end,
Please
I have
I am now loading up
hundreds
the
of
game.
different
Have
games
fun.
to play in one footprint, right? So can't beat that. I don't know. For me, that's the best. I would get rid of all of it and just have the pinball cabinet and one of my main machines, I think. Although don't tell my wife that.
Oh. Hey, Good Grief just joined in. Hey, Good Grief, how's it going? And Dondi says, I hosted Pinball Thursdays with a few friends. I found that favored the one and done, quality over quality, experience over getting into any particular table. Lynn says 3 to 10 games is a nice selection for a commercial cab. Has 50 and a bit of an issue, I think. Yeah. It's the Costco model. If you have 6 flavors of ketchup, people don't buy as much. When you have 1 Heinz ketchup, sometimes options aren't always the best. But I like I still like the model where my iPod, I had a 60 gigabyte iPod. I like loading it with. Sometimes you're in the mood for. Because I obey the ancient law. Not country. I would never be in the mood for country. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you're in the mood for rap. Sometimes you're in the mood for rock. Oldies. So same with pinball, I guess.
Well, what's cool is to get involved in. It's almost like a bowling league, right? Get involved in one of these competitions. I know we do one on BBC Chat. I know there's a Facebook group of competitions, but then they're always picking a new table. So you're trying something or playing something you haven't played in a while or what. I find that's not that I participate all the time, but when I do, I like doing that because I just feel like there's some variety. And then you even put out some of those active playlists. They kind of randomly pick a series of tables for a week or a month.
Oh yeah, the random. Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you look at the wiki guys, there's like a random by month, random by week. So at least it stays the same for the week. It stays the same for the. I mean, do I have random by year? I don't think I have random. I have to speak over this table so that I don't get any copyright strikes. Not that I have a terrible voice, but that's all right. I keep my day job. I will not become a Justin Bieber of my generation.
Hey, have you played this in VR?
I don't know. I mean, I used to play a lot of VR. I used to play a lot of pinball, but in the summer I tend to not play as much. So it's I have to try a few things to get back into an update. I have one folder. I usually download, when new updates come out. But that one folder is large now. So there's lots of updating that needs to get done. But I'm assuming this did the I guess the full DMD works in the VR and everything.
Yeah, yeah. The only problem I think I had with it, and I think a lot of people have, was the button, the fire button at the bottom. What do they call it? The Hadron Glider, I think is the name of it. Was like up in the air in VR, and I finally, because of all the stuff I've been doing lately with VR tables, I finally figured out how to get the darn thing down. Moved it down in my copy. I'm not sure why they didn't see that or fix that or what, but lots of people seem to have that problem. I have a fix if anybody wants it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I was asking you if you were playing it and you had tried it.
No, I don't think I lots of times I'll try it, I'll be in awe, but then I won't play it for a while. Good Grief says, my family enjoyed the cab a lot more since I set up Google Assistant. Yes. Once you get familiar with the Google Assistant and you find the table you want, even on MAME, I think, my cab has many thousands of games. It's nice to just say, find me Street Fighter, and all the Street Fighters come in a list from every emulator.
Yeah, Jarek was on, I don't know if he's still on here, but he was going back and forth with me today. We were talking about MAME. It was like trying to scale down the list. And it's true. I've imported the entire MAME catalog into Popper, so it's I gotta just change my view out of that because there's too much to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I made a PUP CSV of 38,000 MAME games, right? So if you actually do import all the zips, you can I can show you. I was going to make a wiki page on it. I just haven't got around to it. But you run a few SQL statements that'll update your entire. Like once you have all the ROMs imported, a few thousand, then you run a couple of SQL statements. Maybe I'll make it a utility where you can just run the 1exe, and it'll go and update all the years, the types. It'll update all the fields. So then afterwards, you just do simple. Afterwards, you do simple. What are they talking about? Simple active playlists, for each emulator and stuff.
Right.
And, you can say, I want to see all shoot 'em ups. Another idea was to make
the categories.
Another idea is I was going to make a base MAME. Like I made mine, coin ops, right, for MAME. So I made one based off a version of coin ops. So I was just gonna make a start, not the ROMs, but just like media, maybe not even the media, but at least something to start off. At least the popper config part, so all the emulators run and all the lists and stuff like that is in. Gerard is here, he says. Terry says, I'm barely been on cabinet last year. Too busy with RF and SS animating bugs right now. Animating bugs right now, you mean dealing with animation errors or bugs as in cartoons bugs? Cockroaches. Lynn said, my own streaming is a way to break the grazing the buffet habit. I'm also... yeah, streaming is fun. I think a lot more people now, you got Frisco, you got MP3TK, maybe I got that. Manu. He's got a great stream going.
Yeah.
Moving bugs on the playfield. Oh, so you doing the cartoons? Was that called? Yeah, it's called cartoons.
Cartoons. Yeah. Haunt Freaks.
Yeah, Haunt Freaks. Haunt Freaks came back. He was a goner for many years.
Came back with a vengeance.
Well, no, he was always but he was always one to make sure everyone stayed in their lanes.
Your time is up, Yumi.
Well, I didn't mean that way. I mean that he's just
no, I meant that way.
Updates. Yeah. Well, there's that too.
If you try to share a pack when Haunt Freaks was around, you would get your gonads.
You just don't realize
He's working on some good stuff.
when you hold me.
As you see, I am a casual player. I've told people that before. My strategy is not to allow this ball to come down the center. Other than
mine
that,
too.
I just stand and follow lights and enjoy the brainless, whatever, getting lost with flashing lights and music and tables. I'm the same way with the MAME. I don't, you know what I mean? I know people like will master Centipede or Galaga and try and get like 100,000 high scores. Never was my obsession to try and. I think if a game lasts more than 15 minutes, I'd get bored of it. And I hear some of these people, like, you know, on FX, to get some of these high scores, I hear people playing like for an hour to get a high score. That takes a lot of energy.
I'm enamored with folks like Rick who can just do these massive, ginormous scores. I can't do it.
Yeah.
No,
Rick is
I would love to
Rick
just
is a
watch him
special.
stream
Yeah,
and
Rick
just
is.
play.
Terry Retzis takes diapers. Yeah. It's like sitting in front of a slot machine. Those people. Okay, so I also notice when I'm streaming that it seems to. Okay, it looks like I'm okay. Every now and then, because I use OBS NDI over to another cab that does the streaming, that sometimes my videos all go black and white. I guess it's a VLC filter. Who knows what happens? Or it's one of those things where you have multiple graphical applications running. You got VPX running full screen. You got OBS capturing. And then you got VLC running videos. That sometimes I have to restart Popper, but I think I'm good.
Oh, I know that gray sort of screen you're talking about.
No, not the gray squares. This one's a new one. He's not on tonight, is he? Beat me to it. Zombie invasion on Zakaria. Too many hours for fourth. Yeah, I guess, yeah. All the best to people that want to put that many hours into a play. I got to get a wheel for Married with Children. Let's see. Before I play, let's do the game again. At least I can try it. All right, let's try name that game. We're going to hide. And let's see if I can. I see some of them are too easy when I look at the top. All right, let's try this one. All right, people, here we go. Remember, you got one guess. Name that game. Do. Step one. Let's see what that's showing. Ooh, now we're seeing something. Oh, we have a winner. That was maybe too easy because you see the characters at the top. See, I gotta pick some hard ones. But yes, we have a winner. Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, do you see my, there we go. I can feel VLC slugging down with the recording. This has got
What's
to
up
be
with that?
This has got to be one of the best pup packs. I don't know why I like it so much. I don't know if it's just the nostalgia of it, but it's really a great pup pack. Table is meh. It's okay. Oh, I have a topper still on. I got to disable it. I need to move my topper down in the full D&D. One thing one of the operator menu, I have to make a little batch file, and what I'm going to do in that batch file called mark table to fix, because when you play and you're like, oh, I got to fix the topper, you're never going to remember. So if I was going to make an operator menu, and I'll just do a batch file that just appends the table that's currently playing into a fixit.txt, so that when I'm on my desktop, I can remember which tables need adjustments. Simple.
That's a neat idea.
That would take 2 seconds to do. Just a batch file, and you just, you know, output the table name to the txt file.
Right.
And just so that I can, because right now I'm never going to remember to change the topper on this table.
I'm just checking out this.
Dondi is
this
talking
pack.
about a notes section. Well, the notes section is more of when you're on Games Manager. You can put a lot on the notes section. But I'm saying like just from when you're playing on the cab and you notice something like this where the topper is covering the DMD, just go operator menu, you know, mark table to fix. And then that'll just write it to the text file. I mean, it's nothing, it's not a feature. It's just something that you can just have the batch file write to a text file, the current table name. So that when you're in your desktop, you just go open that text file and just go, oh yes, I remember this table needs fixing, maybe.
Who did this pup pack? Do you remember?
He's not around anymore. He's oh boy. Terry knows who he is. What's his name? He's the one who did the Big Thump. Do you remember the guy? He wrote Thumper. Is it Thumper? SSF Thumper.
Oh. The guy's not around anymore?
Kai, some Kai. Is just Kai? What's his name?
Mr. Friendly?
Yeah, Mr. Kai, I believe his name was. Mr. Kai? Yeah, Mr. Kai, that's it. See? I still have my some memory of that. Yes. So yeah, he did this one. He also did Batman Data East, which was a good one. Pack. But he actually was one of the first pack writers. I remember him and Terry was doing his Tron. Terry did multiple Trons. He did Trons via script. He did it the hard way. You gotta go with you gotta use the tools that you got.
Yeah, I find I make a list now of when I see kind of neat things happening in a pup pack to try to figure out, you know, how did they do that, you know, to kind of put in the tool bag for later. Like Twister, right? You watch Twister and there's so many neat overlays and things that are happening in it.
Yeah, that's
another one.
That's Frank or what's his alias? Tuchel? That's a French word. Frankie makes some great packs. He did Star Trek, Next Generation, I believe. If I'm getting these wrong.
Gotcha.
But yeah, his packs are 10 screens and overlays, and he's like, oh, I can use transparency? Oh yeah, we'll use that. Yes, I will use transparency. So he gets to use all the fancy stuff. Alpha, blends. Jared says, I'm still salty. Someone blew up the Tron DOF code. Tron is still old pup. No new features, just Frank. Yeah, I don't know. The Tron DOF, Terry's the DOF king. He will let you know. I was just watching a stream the other day where they were using an LCD mod on a real Tron pin. They were doing an LCD mod that you can get. I guess it's something that goes in the below the back box, along the and it just played some videos, I guess. But I don't think it was triggered. I didn't read too much about it. I don't think it was triggered based on events. It could be. I don't know. But I think it's a new product they made.
I was there's a pinball convention near me, right? I'm in New Jersey. I'm in the U.S. in New Jersey, and there's one up in Allentown that I went to, and they had the Ultraman table there, and it has, you know, the LCD, DMD, and they're playing old Ultraman clips, which I remember as a kid watching that show. But I was surprised they had them so small on the way they did it. I know our community could do them much better.
Well, there is guys. I know there's a guy who is. I wrote the software that made PUP work via serial port. And so they got their. I think they used a real pin and they did some magic. It was just like a pet project for them right now. And yeah, they had PUP packs working via serial port. I mean, PUP would take the events from the serial port and then trigger PUP.
Right.
It's really cool.
That is neat.
So that's something that. Oh, I haven't played this table this long before. I was looking up some of them.
I love your layout, by the way. We were talking about that before.
You're talking about
The grill and stuff.
Oh yeah, just my full DMD right now is weird because the topper on the PUP pack is enabled.
Yeah, but in general, this layout that you have going with the
Oh
new
yeah, I have a
grills
real
and stuff.
monitor there for the.
Yeah.
And I think I'm zoomed out enough so that close enough to know that who I am, but not close enough to see my whiskers. I was gonna get a better camera, and I'm like, I don't know if I need a better camera. I think I need a fuzzier camera at my age. You know that.
I know the feeling.
I tell my wife that's why our vision goes, so that we can. But that conversation didn't go as well. But hey, I was trying to imply my way.
You just reminded you had that Married with Children, PUP pack up. And there was an episode in that I remember years ago where he gets a pair of glasses and he looks at his wife and he breaks the glasses up.
Good Grief
Finally
says,
could
I'd
see
love to move layer on filters until the fee. Good Grief says, I'd love to move all PUP backlashes to the full DMD so I can still use original. Those are good. That's an option. Personally, I like, maybe it's a vision thing, but I like large, since most stables are still 4:1, I like larger DMDs on the bottom half. And in order to get that look that the new PUP DMDs on full DMD are, people are moving the PUP packs there. It just tends to make the DMD a lot smaller. Also, Terry wouldn't like the aspect ratio unless they cut new videos, because you're not at 16:9 anymore like you are when you change the bottom bar for the DMD. But yeah, hey, it's all good. Whatever people like.
Yeah, Andrew Walsh has been putting out a ton of those.
Yeah. Some of them
pretty
some
much
of them,
jumps
some
right
of
up
them
and
look
does it.
okay, and I mean they're great. You know what they're great for? If you had a two-screen, anyone that was stuck with two-screen systems, they are a godsend for two-screen. See, I told you my VLC was about to give out, but look what I got. I just go to operator menu, custom strips. I don't want to say custom scripts. Restart popper, and within a few seconds, I'm back in business.
So do you think that's because we can't, I know there's some reason, I can't remember what it is, there's some reason we can't update VLC, right?
Well,
But I wonder
no,
if the newer versions are more stable.
Do you know, the issue here is it's all about Windows. Because I mean, I won't blame VLC, because when you're running a game in full screen exclusive. And what does exclusive mean? Exclusive means is you shouldn't be running other games. Imagine playing Call of Duty and going, this is good, Call of Duty. I want to run Apex Legends on my backlash while Call of Duty's running on my playfield. I mean, Windows really isn't designed to, So like I said, if you're running full screen exclusive, VLC uses SDL and making new textures and it'll leak memory if you don't do things, if you try changing frames per second on VLC. But if you're not running full screen exclusive, if you're running just window mode, then it's not an issue. Windows plays nice with everything running in window mode and you usually have zero issues. But obviously, VPX is a lot nicer when you run full screen exclusive. And then you got VSync, then you got You know, some monitors are running 59 hertz. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long? I think we're getting near a good end of the stream here. We're over an hour. I think what we'll do is we'll play that game. Come on, I didn't do all that work for nothing. Who's keeping score here? Who's doing the best here? Let's try an FX3 game. An FX3 game, and I'm not gonna make an easy one. You guys had easy ones. So let's try a hard FX3 game. Because I don't even know all the FX3 games. No, that one is... Alright, we'll try this one. Alright, people. Here we go. Name that game. I got to come up with new sound effects. But here we go. One guess per person. I don't know if we have FX3 fans here, but we will see. We will see. Oh, we have a lot of wrong guesses. They blew their no, they screwed they used up their one guess. Nope, no Jurassic. There's not that many people in here, so this guessing game will be over soon. It seems like a popular game, I would think. I think it's in VR. I'll give you some guesses. It's in the FX2 VR. You know what? I'll let everyone reset their guesses now. I guess no one's going to get it at this point. You can reset your guesses. Anyone know what it is yet? I wonder what happens when the game gets to the end. That means victory for Nailbuster. That's what it means. No one yet? No one yet? That bearded man doesn't give it up yet? I knew FX2 would be hard for most. And let's see what happens when it gets to the end. It says you lose. There it is. Good grief, got it. I guess. I don't even say. Does it say Castle Storm on the?
Castle Storm. There it is.
That actually was a nice game, Castle Storm. That's why it was an obscure one, but I actually liked Castle Storm. Did I say FX2? No, it was on FX2, the VR. I assume it was in FX2 as well, or is it FX3? I don't know. But I believe it was on... I could have sworn, but I could be wrong. Yes, Castle Storm it is. All right, let's see if my... let's see if FX... Let me do one last game for tonight, and then I will go and post Popper VR links for people that want to try Popper VR. And if you have any questions, Sal's the guy. Scampa123. But yeah, no, Discord is probably the best way to get support right now. That's what is the there's two Discord channels, right? What are their names?
So virtual pinball chat, right? VPC, and then we also have VR pinball group.
Cool. And we will play for the last game of the night. Where are my wheels? Why is it not working? I want Doom. Oh, it's because it's under... I got to get my wheels all set up. What's Doom under? There it is. This is my favorite FX3 game.
Now loading up the game.
There it is.
Have fun.
If it wasn't, I just wish that it had the ability to not make me motion sickness by having a screen lock feature. Just would have been so easy for them to just not move the camera around so much in cabinets. Please give me ball save. Oh, my head just moved around a lot there.
Yeah, we have Pedro out there. He did the Doom pup pack. For
Oh, I didn't put the Doom pup pack in. See, this it's one of, I haven't even updated my all my pup packs.
The power generator.
It's actually a very
it's
good
pretty
pup
neat.
pack. I have it on my desktop. A lot of times I have it on my desktop. I play it on my desktop, but I haven't updated the cabinet. And of course, the Aliens pup pack's awesome. And you'll notice, I don't know, people like I don't know, Freezy still has the issue where the colors, it doesn't pick up colors when it's using memory. So this is using Pup DMD, and I have my own shaders. So they, my oranges and reds tend to look nicer, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I love the Pup DMD for the FX3 stuff and all,
Yeah.
right? Like he did the fix for the Williams stuff.
Oh yeah,
the,
that's right.
like,
Did they ever
packs
fix
fixed.
that? Did they fix the Williams Volume Pack 6 in Freezy?
I don't know. I never went back to it. I mean, your fix worked for me.
Yeah, that was definitely. Or you couldn't play him. You couldn't play him on real DMDs. You couldn't play him anywhere, really. It was the way they did the italics.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I'm on a full DMD. Oh, the real DMD you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, the real DMD, at least this gives you the option of playing it on your back glass or moving it to your back glass during those
Right.
Volume 6. I'm just worried one day that our good friend DDH, they'll update the next engine and there won't be SSF and there won't be there won't have DOF links, because I cannot play anything that doesn't without SSF or ball rolling sounds or any sort of DOF effects. You can't. You're stuck with playing the cool stuff like pin event tables, VPX, and hopefully VPE.
Yes.
Have you been following the VPE channel on Discord?
No, I haven't, but I have installed VPE and I was poking around with it. I was trying to,
It's
pull in a VR table.
Gerard says Pup DMD works like a charm. Yeah, that's another thing. I had Freezy for the longest time, and it was maybe 60% it would work. It just got way too. So I said, I have a solution.
I feel I should apologize for what's happened here.
You could not have saved them anyway.
Oh, Good Grief says he hasn't fixed the FX3 DMD scramble issue. Well, that's Volume 6. Pup DMD has a workaround with the latest version. Some INI file. It was a while ago I did that.
Yeah. Dondi said, it still looks bad on pin to DMD, so they never fixed it.
Well, no, I mean you can move it or tell Pup DMD to move it to your back glass, right? For those ones, and just not, I don't know, just do something else.
Yeah, but I think his point was just that, look, they didn't fix it for. I mean, he wasn't able to use it on his. Yeah, just move it.
Gerard says, user on a Discord showed some pictures of Zakaria and DMDX on a third screen. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's just using, DMDX has an option to screen mirrors, so he copied from one screen to another screen. So that's a simple feature of DMDX. So what he did is he took the, it only works, I guess, on a few tables from Zakaria that have a wider, bigger. And what he does, he just copied the screen source from the back glass to his final source on his full DMD area. It looks nice. It's a good idea. It's just mirroring your back glass to your full DMD.
Yeah, the Zakaria team finally stepped up, right? I mean, all of the command line options, it just made it super simple now to launch and very consistent. Solange.
I wonder if anyone in the community would talk to them on a regular basis to get this done.
Well, I know you did. I know a few of us did. We're on their Discord going back and forth with them.
With yeah, is it Mart? Is that his name? He's a good guy. I think his
Mart,
name.
yep.
Mart. Yeah, he's. I guess at
Yes.
the end of the day, it's. I mean, I kept on saying. I mean, I know. Cabs are a small slice, but they're also the most passionate, right? It's like trying to get turtle wax. You want to get the guys who put chrome on, souped up cars. You want to get those people because when they go to car shows and they show their V-pin cabs or whatnot, if you have all your V-pin cabs at shows not showing Zaccaria because there's no support for cabs, you lose a big free marketing, right?
Yeah. That's, over 100 tables right there, too. I mean,
Oh yeah, and then Terry,
They
yeah,
look
Terry
great.
has an ALP, right? So yeah, the Zach looks nice. That's 1080p, right? Or is that still 720p? I don't know what are they showing on the ALP for Zach. Oh, I can't. So it's 1080p. That wasn't a yes/no question.
1080, yeah.
That's my wife. I'll ask her a question, and it's like yes is the answer. Both, but I can't look at that. Williams version 6 looks like this for me. I might put, yeah, well, real DMD people, second class citizens these days when it comes to these virtual pins and the software engines and whatnot. I think what it was like 30 or 40% of people use real DMDs now, as in our community. That was the last poll I remember seeing on Facebook, but. Other than, the quality and the look and the authenticity, I don't know other advantages to real DMDs. Obviously, it's very authentic. But as far as support, drivers, software on a Terry says, but why doesn't my Batman 66 fully support? Why can't you fill all that information of Stranger Things in 128 by 32? And then you have issues too, I think. I don't have a real DMD, but there's some DMDs out there that are 256 by 64 or something, and they can't even scale. I think some of the tables can't scale on to 128 by 32 properly. So yeah, but that's that.
I know it's a personal preference, but I just love the full DMD, right? I mean, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think, I mean, given, especially, at first, I remember a few years back, there wasn't that inexpensive, what was it, 14-inch or 10-inch, 16.9? Sorry, no, the LCD 4.1 I meant to say. I think Terry has that. That wasn't around back then, right? So really your option was trying to hide, or what I used to do with putting the bar in between your full DMD.
I do remember that.
Because that was your options back then, right? And then when that LCD 4.1 DMD came out, that was a popular choice, and now everyone's tossing those out and going full DMD. Yeah, I mean, there's once you put a 16.9 DMD, full DMD, you can do whatever. It's awesome. Definitely do it. All right, guys. I think that is it for Sunday night chatting. I think thanks, guys, for joining me and Sal. Sal, thanks for the call, and always good to talk to someone during these chats, these streams.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, cool. And I'm sure, hopefully we get people trying the Pop VR, and I'm sure we'll get some questions this week. Remember, it's beta, guys. So, but I mean, as far as beta means, it's not going to screw up your popper. I mean, it's separate from popper. It doesn't really, you're going to make a new emulator, and it shouldn't really, it's not going to break your popper install. I mean, unless you have to run it in order to actually use it. It doesn't change much of your normal popper. Alrighty, so thanks, guys, and we will see you soon. Arrivederci, bon voyage, ciao, all that stuff around the world, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, Sal, thanks.
Bye. Thank you.